Hi everybody, this is going to be a quick but simple Stardoll makeup tutorial. So I've been looking at the last couple of blogs and a lot of magazines for Stardoll, and I've been looking at, people trying to do the makeup right for the doll, but it wasn't right. Some of them weren't correct to me. Like, they used dark color, they used like the wrong colors, they used, it was makeup like in the eyeball over here, and I just wanted to show you guys how to do it really nice and make it really simple so that it doesn't look too crazy. Now for this tutorial, I'm gonna do just basically a smoky eye. So let's start. Now I'm gonna use the fuzzy brush. Yeah, the circle fuzzy. And for this program I'm using GIMP. So make sure you have GIMP, or you can use Photoshop too and use the fuzzy brush, the soft brush. So create a new layer. I have done that already. So what we're gonna do is I'm not gonna use just black. I'm gonna use like a really dark gray. That's what the smoky eye is. It's not black. People get that so confused. It's not black. So I'm gonna use just this gray here. And if you want to use it, the notation, the HTML notation is 363030. If you want to use the same exact makeup of what I'm doing, so that is the HTML notation, 363030. So I'm gonna start from the outside going into the corner of the eye. So this is the way I'm making my mark, right here to right here. And I did that because the makeup, when you do makeup, you always put the darker color out of the eye. So you always put it out. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to filters, blur, Gaussian blur. This is going to make it really nice, make it really, really fine. So I'm going to blur this, I'm going to blur this to about 10. Now look how that looks. That looks really nice. That looks awesome. Some people I've seen, they just like don't blur it and it looks really, really messy. Now I'm going to take the smudge tool and I'm going to smudge it forward, up and 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 forward. And I say up and forward is because it makes that look so much better. It makes it come out really neat. So I'm going to load the opacity to about 70. I want to lower it to about 70. Or you can do 80 if you want. I think I'm going to go with 80. Yeah, 80. Because you really want that smoky effect. Now this is just part one. This is just the first part. So now I'm going to create another new layer. And this time I'm going to use a darker gray from what I used before. This time we're going into a little bit too black. The HTML notation on this color that I'm using is 232323. So that's 3 23s. 232323. Now for this, I'm only gonna do it from this part right here. This part. So It's gonna make it 1, 2, 3 dots. 1, 2, 3 dots. And I'm gonna take my smudge tool and I'm gonna move that forward. Move that up and forward, but not a lot, just to make it look like a smoky effect. And as you can see, it's coming together. So I'm going to take the blur tool, and I'm just going to blur the black from where the smudge made. I'm just going to blur it just a little bit. So now, this is just a rough copy, so I'm just showing you guys how to do this, but I would do this really way neater than what I'm doing right now. But this is just to show you guys, like, this is how you do the makeup. Now, as you can see, the corners have no color. I'm going to use like a really natural color. So this HTML notation is E2D4CB. E2 as in eggs, E2D4CB. And I'm just gonna go in, create a new layer, and I'm just gonna make my mark here. Go to filters, blur, Gaussian blur. I'm gonna blur this to about maybe 15. Now that's smoking. That's smoking. I'm just gonna smudge it so that it can be, you know, closer to the, you know, blended in, up and in to the darker side, so it looks really well blended. You always have to make sure that your makeup is blended, especially for your me doll. Now, this is just a quick tutorial I want to show you guys, and here is what it looks like now. And this is before. The before, after. Ta-da! Thank you guys.